The Uberzu metagame continues to evolve, and the most recent viability ranking updates highlight several notable shifts in both usage and perceived effectiveness. As the tier adapts to emerging trends, certain Pokemon have solidified their roles while others have begun to fall behind. In this video, I'll be reviewing each change in the updated rankings and offering my own perspective on these changes. Also, I already lied. It's been the first 20 seconds I already lied. I'm not going over every single change. I'm only going over Pokemon changes that have fell multiple ranks. So for example, Arceus Ice dropped from A plus to A tier, but I will not be going over that because I believe that is just small change, while other Pokemon have actually fell multiple ranks. So I will be going over those Pokemon. And for the record, this video is completely unscripted outside the intro. So starting from now, I believe the video quality will probably drop. Like, horribly drop. And speaking of drop, the first Pokemon that I'm be going over is Hisuian Cinnamon. In its prime, Hisuian Cinnamon was truly a nuisance. It could set up spikes while attacking, and it had Encore to boot as well. Dark is an amazing offensive type, and since Magearna is one of the most common Dark resist right now, being able to chip it down while setting up spikes is truly a great thing to have. However, Hisuian Cinnamon dropping from A tier to B tier is pretty huge, as Araquanid also dropped from B plus to B, and both these changes combined highlight the fall of A tier right now and the rise of balance, which is pretty ironic. I thought that losing Giratina in the most recent tier shift will have the opposite effect, but here we are. The next Pokemon is Cyclizar, dropping from B tier to C plus tier. Cyclizar is a funny Pokemon, I can't lie. Shed Tail is always a fun move to use, but the recent development of multiple Pokemon, such as Zamazenta and that's pretty much it. Shed Tail has always been a funny move, but to be honest, this style has always been inconsistent. And if more consistent HO styles such as Araquanid Webs and Samurai Hisui Spikes HO has fallen off, it is clear that inconsistent styles like Cyclizar Shed Tail will also fall off, and Cyclizar wasn't that great in the first place. However, I don't doubt that Cyclizar will eventually pop up in an upcoming tour and completely wreck the opponent, because this is still a Pokemon you should really respect. Espathra shifted from B minus to C tier, and this is quite sad because Espathra has been on the up, it has been down. When Hypnosis Espathra was harassing the ladder back then, Espathra was truly a mon that like no one liked fighting it. Like, it just clicked Hypnosis 60% of the time. It clicks Hypnosis, it falls asleep, gets a free Calm Mind, gets a free speed boost, and oh no, you lost the game. But then 40% of the time, it misses Hypnosis and it's dead. Yeah, it ran bulk commonly, so it can fire off at least 2 Hypnosises. But like, this is such cheese, and like, no one really likes cheese, especially when it's working. So the fall off of Espathra highlights the fall off in cheese in Uberzu. But again, just like Cyclizar, it has to be a mon that you have to respect, because like, if it lands the Hypnosis and gets a 3-turn sleep, it's kind of just over. The next psychic type on the list is Gothitelle, shifting from C plus to C minus. I mean, Stall hasn't been that great recently. Stall has to account for so much, and Gothitelle is only really seen on Stall. So if Stall is struggling, Gothitelle is going to struggle. Archelon shifted from C tier to D tier, and I find this kind of insane because with Giratina disappearing from the tier, which is one of the main water resist, I would think that Rain would be a very good style to run, but at the same time, it also makes sense because Archelon was like really good against Giratina, which Rain struggles against, and like, if Giratina is gone, what's the point of running Archelon? Archelon is such a strong mon, but like, it really struggles sometimes because it is quite slow, and even with the Soul Fest, it isn't taking special hits that well. The next 6 mons have completely fell off the viability rankings, as they are all unranked, so I'll be going over these real quickly. Iron Valiant shifting from C plus to unranked makes sense, to be honest. It's a one-trick pony. I think Bundle outclasses it, as although Bundle isn't faster than Booster Speed, Iron Valiant can't boost your speed forever, while Bundle will always be faster than Arceus. Low kicks falling off makes me upset, but to be honest, it's because the council are haters. Moltres Galar, well, I mean, Lando I also fell down one tier in the viability ranking, so I guess that makes sense. Moltres Galar also, I think it's not strong. Like, it's not a strong mon, it struggles with the mag. Orthworm falling from C+ to unranked, this can be seen. I mean, if the Shed Tail is falling off as a whole, Orthworm had nowhere to go but unranked. Raging Bull going from C to unranked makes sense. Kind of a slow mon. I do think it can put in work in the right matchup, but until then, it can't. Ursaluna going from C to unranked. I still think Ursaluna is a crazy mon, but to be honest, it has Stab Facade with Guts and 140 attack, so I guess it makes sense. Okay, now we're going toward the rises, and there have been a lot of rises. Deoxys shifted from A- to A+. Deoxys wasn't that great in the HO matchup because Hammerot spikes would cut its longevity, and Arachnid will slow it down, and one of the biggest reasons to run Deoxys is because it's amazing speed tier, but take that away and you get something that's going to die to anything. But obviously extreme speed is very helpful in the HO matchup, but in general Deoxys does not enjoy the HO matchup, but HO is falling off, so Deoxys enjoys that. Great Tusk has arguably the biggest jump from C all the way to A+. I mean, there's no Giratina. Like, there's no Giratina to like really annoy Tusk. So Tusk is great against Moon. It's great against. It's really great against Arceus Poison. It's good against physical Arceus Electric. Great Tusk is amazing rocker. It's the best hazard removal in tier right now. It's not passive at all. It can run booster attack bulk up on webs, which I have ran before, and then all in all, Great Tusk is really enjoying the current state of the meta. Battlefish shifted from B+ to A tier, and this is for some reason to Great Tusk. Its biggest counter, Giratina, is now gone, and now it can wave crash everything to oblivion. The rise of Petron does kind of hurt it, but I'm pretty sure Troy's Banter Water wave crash to hits KOs anyway, so there's that. Iron Bundle shifts from B- to A-, and I've been saying I really thought Bundle was a great mon for a long time, but Bundle has now seen a meteoric rise because as people were scrambling for Arceus ice counters, Bundle showed up. It's not a long-term answer, but it can encore it into Judgment or Recover. It says Bundle 4 times resisted. Judgment is only doing 25. And in general, Bundle, it's a really fast guy. Like, it's probably the fastest one on the board, barring Choice Scarf guys. It clicks Hydro, it clicks Freeze Dry. Most teams, I truly think that Bundle is it's a mon that you simply cannot counter other than play well, because the only mons that truly counter, I think, is probably like especially defensive Waters or Clodsire. And not even Blissey counters it because it has flip turn to pivot out to like something like, I don't know, you're a Gunk Shot Arceus Poison. Zamazenta went from unranked all the way to A-. Like, there's no Giratina. Obviously, Zamazenta is gonna be eating good. It does extraordinarily well against Roaring Moon, and like, it's just a great physical check. It's a physical check that hits back hard. What more could you want? It counters Roaring Moon, it can counter non-Encore Dragonite, it counters all physical Arceus. The one thing I will say not great about Zamazenta is that it has no healing, but to be honest, Zamazenta is bulky enough where like you don't really need healing, because like Zamazenta doesn't play the long game that well. Unless you have Alomomola, which is unironically the next one we're going to be talking about. Alomomola shifts from C+ to B+, which makes sense, right? Great Tusk is on the rise, Palfin's on the rise. It is a really good mon versus those two, and it pairs well with Zamazenta as it can stop as the longevity issue that Zamazenta has, it can help mitigate. Iron Tread shifted from C+ tier to B+, and again, it's because Giratina is gone. Its Rapid Spin is more free than ever. Goldango does not really want to switch into it. Dragapult should respect knockoff. It does really well against Arceus Electric. it probably won't beat it long term, but like it really annoys the hell out of Arceus Electric. Garchomp shifted from unranked to B tier? Okay, this is the first time I'm seeing this, and if I'm being honest, I am a little confused on why Garchomp shifted this much. Yeah, I'm not quite sure why Garchomp shifted from what, unranked to B? Yeah, Garchomp shifted from unranked to B tier, and if I'm being honest, this low-key confuses me a little bit, because I don't think I saw Garchomp at all in UMPL. Okay, I'll give it, it does well against Arceus Poison, I'll give it that, but outside of that, I'm not sure what it does well versus, so I guess I'm just gonna leave a council memo to explain it in the comment section. But yeah, Garchomp Rising, I'm not sure why it did. Volcarona shifts from C tier to B tier, and this is a Pokemon I can actually explain because there's no Giratina, right? Volcarona's stat combination was completely thwarted by Giratina, and it had to use Terra Blast like Fairy or Dragon specifically for it. And it still might just use Terra Dragon because like it's good because it gives a resistance to Palafin. But yeah, without Giratina, Volcarona isn't forced to use Terra every game, and now can be an actual good sweeper. Both Dialga forms have shifted to B- tier, which makes sense, right? It has Thunder Wave, it has Stealth Rock, it hits hard, its typing is great versus Arceus Electric, which I think might need to be banned, but that's just my personal opinion. But who knows, we will see. And yeah, Dialga's a great mon right now. Dragapult shifted from C tier to B-. And I think I can understand this, right? As the GOAT Mazanite once said, any Pokemon faster than Arceus will always have a niche. A Dragapult is faster than Arceus. It can Will-O-Wisp physical Arceus sets. It completely thwarts E-Killer Arceus, which if I'm being honest, I don't think I've seen that quite often, right? I think it's a great Dragon Dancer in my opinion. Yes, you will need to use Terra Blast Fire to break through Mag, but after you break through Mag, like nothing wants to take a Life Orb Dragon Darts after a Dragon Dance. Petron shifts from C- to B- on the viability rankings, and I think this is well deserved. When Petron was getting popular like 5 months ago, I think Petron was very good, but when I started picking it up in UMPL, this mon is the GOAT. It has Parting Shot, it has its signature move that I'm not trying to pronounce, it has instant healing and recover, and it has Foul Play, so Arceus Poison cannot set up on it. It eats Earthquake very well from Arceus Poison. In fact, without unboosted, it lives 2 Arceus Poison Earthquakes from max attack. Terra Dark Foul Play can also be used as a last resort in case you let the Arceus Poison get a bit too uncomfortable. And yeah, it also counters the next mon really well, which is Rillaboom rising from C to B-. And this makes sense because in general, I think grassy terrain, like Giratina's gone. Without Giratina, grassy terrain teams are very good. Demon Mag is scary. I think Calm Mind, Ursaluna, Blood Moon is scary. Sneasler is scary because like you would just throw your Giratina at it and be like, oh, I'm fine. But now you don't have a Giratina and now everyone's dying. Baxcalibur shifted from C- to C+, and I think this makes sense. It's a Dragon Dancer that isn't afraid of Arceus Electric, isn't that afraid of Arceus Ice. It's bulky, it's strong. I will say the one bad thing is that it's slow. After one Dragon Dance, I'm pretty sure Deoxys still outspeeds it, although I could be mistaken. So you need to run Jolly, which sacrifices some power. And that's why Baxcalibur is still C+, right? If you want a Dragon Dancer, you can use Dragonite, you can use Roaring Moon, you can use Gouging Fire, etc, etc. Clefable and Sinistra shifted from unranked to C+. And Clefable, I can't speak much on because I don't use it. But like, Magikarp is broken. It's like Magikarp is broken. What else do I need to say? Sinistra shifting from unranked to C+. The Rise of Great Tusk. It's a great spin blocker on spike stack teams, not necessarily HL, just spike stacks in general. It completely ruins Great Tusk. Worst Great Tusk is going to do is knock it off. But like, it has this broken move called Strength Sap. It does poorly against Roaring Moon, I will say. But like that's why you should pair your Sinistcha with Zamazenta. Now Roaring Moon isn't that much of an issue. Sneasler shifted from C- to C+, and again, this is just because Giratina is gone. Enamorus shifted from unranked to C tier, and I think this makes sense. And I think this is low-key a little late, because I think Enamorus was perfectly good pre-Giratina, right? It outspeeds Adamant, Roaring Moon. Scarf is great against like the many dragon types like Dragonite, Gouging Fire, the previously mentioned Roaring Moon. It's great against Zamazenta, lacking Stone Edge. So yeah, Enamorus is a fantastic mon right now. Ogerpon Wellspring shifts from unranked to C tier, and that's because Giratina's gone. I'm at this point I'm very tired of saying Giratina gone, but that's the reality of it. Palkia shifted from D tier to C tier, and again it's just like Garchomp. I don't understand why it shifted. I guess because like Scarf Hydra is super strong. You can run Lustrous. I mean, you're not gonna run Lustrous Roar, but you have Palkia Origin for that. So I guess the only niche Palkia has is Choice Scarf sets, or maybe Choice Spec sets to be stronger than its counterpart Palkia Origin, which is very good right now. Because again, Rise of Palafin, Palkia Origin naturally checks it. Tyranitar shifts from unranked to C tier, and this is because Sand as a whole has improved. Excadrill Sand has improved because there's no Giratina. Excadrill has a very good matchup into Magearna. I love Choice Band Tyranitar. I made a Choice Band Tyranitar team in UMPL, and I think it is the best team in the entire metagame if we ignore teams made by Celestia, ignore teams made by Frito, made by Incredible King, made by Taka, made by Fishy Roads, made by Mazuna. So thank you guys for watching. Now that I think about it, this video was a horrible idea. I should have scripted it. But at this point in time, the video is 29 minutes. And obviously when you're watching this video, the video should be realistically only like 15 minutes. But I have studied so much while making this video, like genuinely. And yeah, hope you guys had a good day, and see you in the next one.
I nut in my meals every single day.